Hello, lovely. How you doing? It's Yasmin Vorajee from Tiny Time Big Results, and today I want to talk to you about a principle that will really help you to get the very most out of everything that you're doing in business and actually in life too. So one of the things I love to do is to read, and one of my favorite books back in the day was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And I remember reading that when I was working in corporate, and I loved the simplicity of the principles and really how they could apply to so much in your life. But today I want to talk to you about one particular one that has always stayed with me. And it's number 7, and it's called Sharpen the Saw. Now, Abraham Lincoln once said that if I had 8 hours to cut a tree, I'd spend 6 sharpening the saw. And maybe Covey got it from Lincoln, I don't know. But it's such a great point, because how often do we just throw ourselves into the task without preparing adequately, without preparing more than adequately? And this is true for everyday life, and especially in your business, especially if you've only got a few hours. So in the morning when I get started, I don't want to just throw myself into emails and social media and all of that stuff, all of the things that take up all that noise and create so much disturbance. Instead, I want to set my day up the way I want it to go. And this is where this principle of sharpening the saw is really powerful. And I would love for you to maybe embrace it for this week and see what it could do for you. So what does this really mean? Well, for me, sharpening the saw, and you think about it literally, if you're going to go and cut a tree down, then you want to make sure that it's going to do the job. You're not going to be sitting there, with a butter knife trying to hack away at a tree, because nothing's going to happen there. So it's the same with business. You want to put yourself into a place where you have the tools ready, you have the technology, you have the equipment, you have all of those things ready, okay? But what's really important is what's going on for you in here and in your heart as well. And so when I wake up in the morning, I've got 3 kids, so I've got to get them ready for school and all of that good stuff. But I like to wake up a little bit earlier so I have some me time by myself, me alone. It's brilliant. And when they do wake up, it's really annoying. And I'm like, oh, go back to sleep. It's only the middle of the night. You don't have to get up yet. But what I really love is that time for me just to be able to get my head in the right space. And this is what I mean by sharpening the saw. It's about really focusing on your intention for the day. What is it that I want to create? And if we think about it from a business perspective, like, what is it that I want to achieve today in my business? When you have tiny time, you can't give yourself this massive to-do list, because you're just setting yourself up for failure, because you're not going to be able to get it all done. And have you noticed that sometimes you give yourself a big task list and then there'll be one thing that you think, oh, it'll get done in 10 minutes, and it takes a lot longer. And so you don't want to set yourself up for failure. But instead, if you think about what your intention is and you think, I want to connect with 2 people today. From a sales perspective, that's a really powerful strategy. Who can I connect with? Who are the 2 people that I could start a sales conversation with, or just have create a conversation with? How can I share my message today? And when you start to break it down into little buckets like that, what you do is you're formulating a really clear intention, rather than, I need to reply to those emails, I'll see what emails come in. Because when you just look at what emails come in, you're now responding to other people's agenda and not your own. So set the intention. Think about the energy that you want to approach the day with. Is it going to be an enthusiastic, excited energy? Or is it going to be, oh, I can't believe I have to do all of this work. I should. Instead, I get to, I choose to. And you approach the day with an energy of excitement, enthusiasm, and let me at 'em, and it just changes the whole tone of the day. And when you sit down and you think about what you want to achieve, you think about your intentions, and you think about the energy that you want to approach everything with, everything changes around you. The things that sometimes take so much time actually feel effortless and they don't take any time at all. You know, you reach out to people and it just feels so effortless and organic, and it just feels so much easier. And that's because you've sharpened the saw to begin with. So let me give you a little insight into what I do in the mornings. Not to say that you have to do this the same way. Everyone's different. I tend to wake up around about 6:30. The kids wake up around 7:30, so that just gives me an hour. And what I like to do is spend 15 minutes doing some form of meditation. Then I like to be able to just spend 10-15 minutes having a cup of tea and journaling, maybe reading a book that's going to inspire and lift me. One of my favorites is called A Course in Miracles Made Easy. So don't judge me, it's a really good book. And then what I like to do is to do 10-15 minutes of high intensity exercise to kind of get my heart rate up. And you might be thinking, no way am I doing that. Okay, I hear you. You might be fine with the meditating and you might be fine with the journaling and the cup of tea. But when it comes to exercise, you might be thinking, oh God, no. Listen, honestly, it is such an amazing, amazing strategy. When I do just even 10 minutes of high intensity activity, oh, wow, my energy goes off the scale. Yeah, really and truly. And just 10 minutes, I wholeheartedly encourage it. Okay. Now you could do some yoga. I like to alternate between yoga and stretching and doing the high intensity. Then the kids wake up and then, you know, getting them to school. And then before I actually sit down to work, and bear in mind that by the time this all happens, it's about maybe 8:45, 10:50. I go for a walk. I go for a 30-minute walk around the town to get fresh air. This is me sharpening my saw, and I can't recommend it enough. Because when I do sit down, and it's normally about 9:30 at this stage, 9:30, I've got 2 hours before I have to go and pick up my youngest. This makes the 2 hours that I actually spend working so much more productive because I've sharpened my saw. So I'd love for you just to think about that today and this week and think, what could I do differently that's going to really help me to set up my energy and my productivity? And I want you to think about what sharpening your saw looks like. Let me know in the comments below what works for you, what do you do, and that maybe other people could benefit from. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think and go ahead, sharpen your saw, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to grab your free guide on my website, yasminvorajee.com. And if you've enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to subscribe, review, and share with your friends as well. All right, take care. See you soon.